What's up, everybody? It's Basara here, and today I'm actually going to be going over the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Pyra and Mythra reveal trailer, kind of giving an analysis on it, giving my thoughts on their moveset and how I think they'll play and how good I think they'll be. I'm planning on maining the character myself. I was really excited seeing another Xenoblade rep. I would like to play Shulk, but he's like one of the most complicated characters in the game, so what can you do? Also, I guess this is officially my YouTube face reveal, so howdy. The lighting in my room is dog shit because it is nighttime, so I'm just using a lamp over there. So apologies for that. Most of my videos will probably be me recording at night when people in my house are asleep. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. I'm just going to get right into the analyzing. So I have the video muted because I don't want like the audio from the video to make it hard to hear me. I don't think the audio is really going to add much. So yeah, we're starting it right here. I'm watching an HD version. Okay, so we get the Pyro Blazes into battle. We get some nice camera angles here. Thank you. More nice camera angles. Very nice camera angles. Alright, so first we have down air. So, this move. Okay, I'm kind of missing the mark here. My apologies. Okay. This is a pretty good demonstration of the hitbox. So this reminds me a lot. There are a few downers like this. Marth Lucina, Meta Knight, the two pits, and Joker. So what's significant about this is that I really like downers like these. It's similar to a lot of up airs in the game, but instead it's down. And what's significant is that sometimes these spike in the middle. So you'll see like right here where my cursor is. Like this is usually a sweet spot in the middle of the hitbox right here, and that'll spike. But sometimes that's not the case. So Meta Knight's down here that goes in a similar arc does not spike anywhere on the hitbox. And Joker's down arrow with the same arc does not spike anywhere on the hitbox if he doesn't have Arsene. If he has Arsene, it spikes pretty much everywhere. And then in Marth is a special case because he has the tipper mechanic. So if it hits the tip of the sword, then it spikes and he gets the sweet spot. So we don't know if this move will spike because sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't when it goes in arc like this. I think a possibility is that Pyras will spike and Mithras will not. I think that would actually be a good idea because Pyra's up B can spike. Well, I'm going to go over that move later. And then if this move can spike, that would mean that Mythra would have no ways to spike and Pyra would have two methods. So that would give Pyra some added utility over Mythra. So I think that would be interesting to see. I'm not sure if they'll do that. Generally, the thought process here is that Pyra's slow but strong and Mythra's fast but weaker. So that's why I'm thinking maybe we'll get like a strong spike hitbox on this, and then Mythra won't be able to spike with hers at all, and hers will be more like a combo tool, and you do see her combo into a grab with it later when we get to Mythra. So that's my speculation on that. I'm not going to go over like specific frame data, by the way. Mewtwo King does that, and there's a couple charts online of people that did that. I'm not going to personally be doing that. And yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on down air. So this is up tilt. So let me try to get like a good demonstration of the hitbox. All right, that's pretty good. Okay, so this up tilt covers a pretty long range. I can't think of like a ton of up tilts that are like this. There are certainly ones that go like sort of in this arc, but this hitbox is pretty unique. This reminds me a lot of Adult Link's up tilt, the Breath of the Wild Link. His kind of like goes behind him first, and then he like swings up like this. This hits Corn pretty far away. So I think this is a pretty good hitbox. It doesn't look that slow either, so I think this is going to be a pretty strong anti-air move. It might be able to hit in the back and in the front. We don't know for sure. It's definitely hitting in the front here, so that's good. The back, I'm not sure how well it'll hit. Shorter characters like Pikachu might be able to duck under it. I'm actually assuming that's probably most likely going to be the case. But we'll have to wait and see when it actually comes out. So a lot of people have been wondering what this move is. I think it's dash attack. I know a lot of people are saying that it doesn't look like she runs at all, but I know that Pyro is supposed to run a lot slower than Mythra. So my thought process is that it probably ran for like a frame or something and then used the dash attack like instantly when it started running, which is how it came out. That's really the only explanation here because forward smash and forward tilt are both shown and they're not this move. So I'm assuming that this is dash attack. This reminds me of Ike's dash attack, except it actually goes higher up, so I think this might actually be even better. And Ike's dash attack is already pretty good. It kills really early. I'm assuming Pyro's will probably do the same. So I have pretty high hopes for this move. This looks pretty good. And then this is forward air. It looks kind of like back air because she's like twirling around like that, but they show back air later and she kind of does like a flip around. This isn't a flip around, this is more like a twirl. So the twirl is the forward air, and then like the flip is the back air. So this is forward air, and there's not a lot of forward airs like this in the game. The one that's closest to it, in my that I can think of is Robin's, and I think Robin's forward air is really underrated move. There's really no other move like it until this one, this new Pyro forward air, and I think it's really good. It covers underneath you and in front of you, and I think it just covers a lot of options. And when Robin has Levin Sword, it's really strong. I'm assuming on Pyro to also be really strong. So I think this could definitely be a pretty good move. I don't think it'll be as good for spacing as something like Lucina or Corrin's forward air, where it kind of like goes in like an arc like this. I definitely don't think it'll be as good for that, but I could see this being a really good tool for strings and kind of like covering underneath you. That's something this character seems really good at in general. Forward air hits underneath you, back air hits underneath you, nair hits underneath you, down air hits underneath you. So I think if you're underneath Pyra or Mithra, you're gonna have a really tough time, and that's actually really good because you generally when you're above somebody in Ultimate, that's a really bad position to be in. And the reason for that is because there's a lot of anti-air tools and stuff like that, and there's a lot of really good ground options. So if you're just above somebody, it kind of makes you like sort of helpless, and down airs tend to be really laggy. So people would just use like an up tilt and anti-air you and then start juggling you. But if you have a bunch of aerials that hit underneath you, like towards the start of the move, then you're not going to get anti-aired as hard. So I definitely think that that's going to be one of the character's strengths compared to other ones. So let's keep going. So this is forward smash. So Rex makes the comment here, you powered up your smash attack with fire, and a lot of people have had like different speculation on what he means by this. They think that this might be some kind of mechanic similar to like how Mithra has foresight, maybe Pyra has some kind of mechanic with fire. I don't think that's what he means here. I think what Pyra might have is that when you charge up a smash attack, how it gets stronger, like it scales. So the longer you charge smash attack, the more damage it deals, the more knockback it deals. I think since the advantage of Pyra is that she's supposed to be stronger, I think if you charge up a smash attack more, she will use more fire, so her smash attacks will scale higher when charging than other characters generally. So I think if you take the time to charge up smash attacks with Pyra and hit them, it'll be much higher reward than charging up a smash attack and hitting them with most other characters. I think that's what they're going for. I could be wrong, but that's kind of the impression I'm getting, and I think they would really fit into Pyra's niche of hitting really hard. So I think that that's probably what he means by this, but it could also just be a line of dialogue for the trailer. We really don't know. So yeah, that's Smash Flare.
Attack with fire?
Accidentally unmuted it. Okay, so this is Neutral Beam. I actually think this move is slept on. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, it's really laggy." This reminds me a lot of Zelda's Neutral Beam, Neighbor's Love, where she twirls around in like a diamond-shaped like reflector. Now, this move probably isn't as good as that because I don't think it'll come out as quickly. That move comes out pretty fast for Zelda, and this also probably won't reflect projectiles either. But it's still a similar idea where it kind of is like this multi-hit hitbox surrounding you, and it's really good for combo breaking. So if you're getting like strained by somebody, you throw this out, and if you have enough time, the hitbox will cover all around you, and then they're most likely going to take a lot of damage from this because it looks like it's a lot of hits. And the knockback seems pretty high too, as you'll see. Yeah, they go like flying. This might actually be a kill move. Okay, so this is Prominence Revolt. So let me go back here. I should probably slow down the speed so it's easier to get these. Okay, so she shoots up here. This is the first part of the up beam. Now, I think this is going to be a really good out of shield because if you've seen like Lucina's up B, Cloud's up B, it's sort of a similar thing where you shoot your sword up in sort of an arc in front of you like this. And those are like some of the best out of shield options in the game because they're a long range disjoint that put a hitbox right in front of you. So somebody hits your shield, instead of taking the amount of frames to drop shield and do like the drop shield animation, you just input an up B and you get a hitbox out and you can punish a lot of hits on shield by doing this. So I think Pyra and Mythra are both going to be really good at this. Mythra will probably be better at it because her frame data is most likely going to be faster, so she'll probably have a faster out of shield than Pyra will, but Pyra's will deal more damage, so there's that. So the thing about this is that Prominence Revolt has a second part where she spikes down, so this is very similar to like Me Sword Fighters up B that goes up and then spikes down, or like something like Ike, Chrom, Kirby, those up Bs. Uh, Now, what we don't know is if you'll be able to choose whether to do the second part or not. I think it doesn't look like you can like choose. I think it's gonna force you to go down. I think that's kind of silly because we're gonna get into Mythra, and Mythra's two versions for up B most likely, whether you press B once or B twice. So I think Pyrus should have the same thing by choosing whether or not to spike down. But just from like what it looks like to me, like I'll go back here. I'll see if I can get it like on the rise of the jump. Yeah, like right here, it looks like she doesn't have an option. Like this animation right here tells me that she's going to spike the sword down no matter what you do. I can't, I think this would look really awkward if you could just not do the second part and she's like holding the sword up above her head like that. That doesn't make a lot of sense. So I don't think it'll be possible. So that'll hurt it as a recovery tool and it might also make it more punishable because if somebody manages to shield the up B out of shield or whatever, like they land to the ground fast enough, then you'll have to commit to the second part, and it's most likely going to be very laggy, so they can just drop shield and get a tether grab or something. So I think that seems not very good, but Sakurai could prove me wrong and make it so you don't have to spike down with the second part. We'll have to see. I think that'll definitely affect it, but either way, should be a good out of shield option. It also goes pretty high, so it's decent for recovery, but Pyra's horizontal recovery is definitely going to be very lacking because this goes like straight up, and then her side B does not help her recover horizontally at all, unlike Mythra. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. I definitely think Mythra will be better for recovering. Absolutely. So yeah. So this is Boy Dance, so this is side B. So this is an interesting move. So a lot of people have been speculating what how this move works. So basically, it's kind of like a boomerang when you first throw it, and then when it makes contact with somebody, instead of being like a boomerang, it turns like a circle that's like straight at the camera and then turns around like this. So it goes from like being on like the side to being like straight up and that makes the hitbox bigger. Makes it really good for ledge trapping. Actually, we don't know for sure whether this part will happen only if it connects with somebody. Maybe it'll come out like this whether you hit somebody with it or not. If you don't have to hit somebody with it, that's insane for ledge trapping. You just throw this at the ledge and somebody cannot neutral get up against this. It will 100% get hit and it might even cover jump too. So that won't work. They'll have to roll. And rolling here wouldn't work either because Pyra's like in the exact perfect spot to punish a roll here. So you would be very limited. I don't think it's going to work. I think you're going to have to make contact with like an enemy for it to do this part because I think it would just be too good for ledge trapping. I don't think they would do this. But the interesting part is that you see, so she's throwing her sword away, so now she doesn't have a sword. So people are saying like, oh, can she not do anything? Most likely, it's gonna come automatically back to her. I don't think it's gonna be like K. Rool where he can miss the crown and then the crown like won't be on his head because she literally needs her sword for everything. So I think no matter what you do, the sword is just gonna come back to you automatically. And during that time, you can control Pyra and you might even be able to grab people, but you won't be able to use any sword attacks because obviously you don't have a sword. So that's kind of how I'm assuming this is going to work, and I guess that's kind of the trade-off for having this big projectile hitbox that probably deals a lot of damage, is that you don't have your sword on you. That's what I'm expecting. Maybe they thought that it would be too good because you could just get this multi-hit and then make a follow-up, but if she has her sword, if she doesn't have her sword, then she can't really make a follow-up outside of grab, so that's probably what the thought process was. So yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on that move. So this is neutral air. So it goes in like a spinning direction. It reminds me a lot of Byleth, except instead of being a multi-hit, it seems like it'll only hit one time and that'll send them launching. I definitely don't think this move will be as good as Byleth neutral air because I don't think it's gonna have a landing hitbox like that move does. And the fact that it isn't multi-hit means it'll be harder to shield poke with, and it'll also probably deal less damage and be harder to combo with. So I think it's probably just gonna be a worse Byleth Nair, but it's still not bad by any means. Any Nair that like covers a circle around you is really good because what you want a neutral air to do is to cover all around you. That's what the entire point of a neutral air is. So neutral airs that accomplish that are always going to be really solid. And I think Pyra and Mithra's down air, where it kind of goes like underneath you, also kind of serves as a neutral air in a way. It's similar to like Ike's neutral air hitbox, where it like hits in front of you, then underneath you, and then behind you. So they basically have like two neutral airs, honestly. So I think they're not really going to struggle in that department by any means. They should be able to cover options pretty easily in the air, I'm thinking. And then this is back air. So this is why it couldn't be forward air before because, like I said, she does like a back flip. So I think this move seems pretty good. I'm expecting it'll deal quite a bit of damage and knockback in exchange for being laggy because when you're doing a backflip in the air, that's definitely going to be laggy. You see Kirby go pretty high up. He goes in like an upright direction. So I'm kind of expecting this to not be like amazing for edge guards if the move doesn't kill. If the move kills, then obviously it kills, so that's good. But if it doesn't kill, then the enemy will be sent up, so it won't be that hard for them to recover back to the stage. So you might be better off trying to do forward airs off stage, or maybe even trying to get like the sour spot of down air to gimp. That might be possible, or hell, if the move doesn't spike, like it might not, then you might be able to get any hitbox of the down air and gimp with it. We'll have to see. So I don't think back air will generally be the best tool for edge guarding, but if it's strong enough to get the kill at whatever percent, then it'll definitely be good for that. I think this will mainly be for reads. You read an air dodge, you hit this, you get good damage knockback. That's what I'm expecting. Okay, so now they go into a cutscene, and this is when she transforms into Mithra. She shows off her butt, but it has a skirt and leggings on, so you don't really see anything. So we start off with a forward tilt. So also nice camera angle, but anyway, it's not really a camera angle, more like nice pose. But anyway, so this is forward tilt. So this reminds me of like a Byleth forward tilt where he kind of like swings above his head and then like down. It's similar to like a Corrin Lucina forward air, but like on the ground. And it's those that new forward tilt is okay on Byleth. It's not like a game breaking move. It's what you expect from a sword move. It is good range, decent power, and you space with it. That's pretty much it. It's pretty much just to either poke shields or to hit it and then get stage control or maybe put your enemy in a disadvantage or in a juggle situation. That's generally what it's going to be used for. It's not going to be like your main move by any means. So she does down air here. Like I said, they might not put a spike hitbox on hers, but put a spike hitbox on Pyra's because my Mithras hits are supposed to be weaker. We don't know yet. But you can definitely see the sour spot here combos into a grab, so she, or maybe not combos, but like follows up or like strings. It might not be a true combo. So you can hit a down air like as you're landing, and then try to string into a grab. So that's pretty good. That's why I kind of said that down air can also act as like another neutral air. Basically, it's similar to like landing with an Ike neutral air to try to get a follow up out of it. You land with the Pyramith or down air. It hits front of them, underneath them, behind them, and if it hits anywhere, then you can follow up. That's kind of the strategy I'm thinking. She does a back throw. Doesn't look anything impressive. Reminds me of like a I don't know. I guess like Ike back throw, he kind of does like that kick back where it's whatever. That's probably not going to get any follow ups out there. It's going to be mainly for stage control and positioning. So Lightning Buster, I think this is a meme move. Honestly, this looked really bad. The only thing I can see this being good for is if you use this and like while you're airborne, when you activate this, Mithra doesn't fall at all, so she's like floating in place. That might actually be pretty good to like stand in one spot and have like a bunch of hitboxes active. I could see that being okay. But outside of that, if you whiff this, like she has like that 1 second charge where she like holds up the sword like this and then she starts like wailing. If you're missing these wailing sword hits, if literally a Ganondorf can jump behind you and do a reverse warlock punch before this move is over and kill you. Like it's that laggy, honestly. So this is like very high commitment, high reward where you're probably going to get a lot of damage and maybe even be able to kill off hitting this. But if it's kind of insane to go for, similar to like a Falcon Punch. Uh, I don't know why they gave Mithra this kind of move because I thought Pyro was supposed to be the one with slow moves that are strong. So the fact that they gave Mithra a slow move that's strong doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. If I wanted that, I'd just switch to Pyra. I don't really see what the thought process was behind this, but maybe it'll prove me wrong and the move will be better than I think. We'll have to see. So Photon Edge is a side B. So I think this move is really good. So this reminds me a lot of there one of me sword fighters upbees is like he goes like rah, 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 and he like shakes the sword above him and it's like multiple hits and this reminds me a lot of that. It's also similar to Sephiroth's upbeat. When you charge it, he does like multiple hits like that and he goes like that. And both of those are really good at covering you with a ton of hitboxes. If a character is a counter, it's gonna bite you because they'll just use a counter and you're almost definitely going to get hit by it, so that could definitely be rough. But outside of that, you can use this off stage to move forward to try to recover with it, and it'll cover you with a bunch of hitboxes. I don't know what the ledge grab is going to be like on this. Uh, I'm wondering if like in between hits you'll be able to grab a ledge. So like if I'm right next to a ledge, I can like drop down and then side B and then do like one hit of the side B and then I'll grab the ledge. Or if it'll make me commit to all the hits before it'll let me grab a ledge. Or if there will be some kind of lag on it where I can't grab ledge for a while and then I won't be able to up B for a while. Maybe it'll just kill me so I can't use it to recover. I don't know. We'll have to see what the ledge grab on it is, and that'll definitely determine how good it is as a recovery move. And I definitely think that's mostly what this is going to be used for is to move forward off stage to try to get to the ledge. I can't really see a lot of application for this like on stage or fighting people outside of like maybe if you want to do a stylish edge guard, you'd pop out the side B and then you kill them off like the left or right side or something. That could be cool for a Twitter clip, but yeah, we'll see. Definitely, if somebody shields this, you're gonna get punished. Same thing as the neutral beam. So yeah, that's definitely the takeaway from this. So up B is Ray of Punishment. So this is what I was talking about with her having two versions of up B. So Ray of Punishment, she shoots one laser here, as you can see, and then she does it again, but this time it's Chroma Dust, and it shoots three lasers. So what I think this means is that it's going to be similar to like a Cloud up B, where if you press B once, it works a certain way, and then if you press B a second time, it works a different way. So I think when you press B once, it'll give you Ray of Punishment by default, and you only shoot one laser, and then if you press B a second time, you'll commit to Chroma Dust and shoot three lasers. What I'm expecting is that Chroma Dust will be laggier, in exchange for having the three lasers, so it won't be as good for recovering. So you use Ray of Punishment for recovering, and then when you hit an up B out of shield, you will shoot the enemy up with you, and then you use a Chroma Dust and you hit them with three lasers. That's what I'm thinking it'll be. I think Chroma Dust can actually be good as an edge guarding tool, especially if I'm right on my theory that Mithra's down air might not spike people because her up B doesn't spike people like Pyrus can with uh I already forgot what the move is called, but you know what I mean, the up B that goes up and then down for Pyra. That'll definitely spike people, and then her down air might spike people and Mithra's might not. So if Mithra can't spike people, she probably won't have as dangerous of an edge guarding game, at least when it comes to that. So Chroma Dust can be a good tool for edge guarding, so you don't have to actually go off stage to hit somebody. with an edge guard, you can just safely poke them with some laser projectiles. That could be pretty good. It's not going to be good for gimping though, because as you can see, it's shooting them like up and to the right, similar to the pyro back air. So since it's popping them up, it'll probably make it not that hard for them to recover if they get hit by it, but you can probably get some nice damage off it, and it'll be hard for them to air dodge it, because air dodging is very committal, and you can just die if you accidentally input a directional air dodge off stage. So uh, I think it'll be pretty good. I definitely think Mithra will be better for recovering because her up B should come out faster, having better frame data, and also she has better mobility both on the ground and in the air. So that's kind of what I'm expecting here. And also, she won't have to commit to spiking down ever. We still don't know if Pyro will have to commit to spiking down, but if that's the case, then Mithra will definitely be better for recovering. So keep that in mind. Okay, so now they show off Foresight in the cutscene. Now, a lot of people have mixed thoughts on this. Some people think this is down B. Some people think this is like an enhanced role similar to Bad Within. I'm on the team of people that think it's an enhanced role like Bad Within. I think the down B will be switching between them. I thought at first maybe switching between them could be a taunt, similar to like how Kirby uses a taunt to get rid of like his hat, like whenever he copies an ability. But that can't be the case because later in the trailer they show like a Link do a dash attack and Pyra jumps up and then she transforms into Mithra midair, and you obviously can't taunt midair. So that means that it has to be an actual move in their moveset. So down B has to be the transformation. So to me, this is role in an enhanced battle then. So how I think this is going to work, if I'm it's being a Xenoblade 2 guy, I feel like I can kind of piece together how they're going to do this. I think this will be similar to Bat Within, where it gives you a faster dodge that comes out earlier. Um, and I think so. Bat Within, when that hits, you take half damage when you activate Bat Within. I think Foresight, you will take no damage. I think you will just dodge it and it won't do anything. But then obviously the question is, well, then how would it be like? It would just be broken because it would just be better Bat Within, right? Well, not really, because Bat Within works on air dodges and spot dodges, and I don't think Foresight will. So the only way Foresight would work if it worked on spot dodges and air dodges would be if you were to say you air dodged and somebody hits you or something, and then Foresight activates because let's just say that Foresight works on air dodge, that would mean that after the air dodge, you would be able to input whether you go left or right with the Foresight, like which direction you go to. And that certainly could be possible, but I don't think that will be the case. Based on what they showed, so Mithra does like a back roll against this Cherry side beam, and then her Foresight goes backwards. And then if we watch it again, she does an up tilt here. We're seeing the up tilt again. And I want to point out, they didn't really show it with Pyra, but the up tilt goes like pretty far in front of her. So even like short characters like Pikachu should get hit by this if the hitbox works properly. It might not, but we'll see. So anyway, she hits the up tilt, and then the the wolf down smashes here, and she rolls inwards towards the wolf. And when she does that, the foresight also goes inwards towards towards the wolf. Sorry. So I think if Nintendo intended it to where foresight activates and then you get to decide which direction you go, I think they would have shown it where she's doing a forward roll to activate the foresight, and then she would have used backwards foresight to demonstrate that you can like switch it up. But I don't think that's how it works. I think it's just if you do a forward roll like towards the wolf, you will have foresight forward towards the wolf, and then if you roll backwards, then your foresight will be backwards. So that's why I think it's not going to work for spot dodges and air dodges. It's only going to work if you're rolling in one direction and then you're going to have to foresight in that direction. That's at least my theory, and I think that's going to be the trade-off for taking no damage. Is that it only works for rolls as opposed to Bayo, who can do it for spot dodges and air dodges too, in exchange for taking half damage. So that's what I'm expecting. And something else I want to point out too is that only Mithra is going to have this ability. They make that pretty clear in the trailer, and also it's just Xenoblade 2 War that Pyra can't do this and Mithra can. So I think Pyra is going to struggle a lot. I think people are going to play as Mithra most of the time, and they're just going to switch to Pyra when someone's at high percent to hit a kill move and kill, and then they're just going to switch right back to Mithra. I think Pyra is going to get very underused compared to Mithra. And I'm gonna go more in depth on like how I think they could fix Pyro once the trailer's over, so that like it's more balance between them and like more mix. So let's just finish out the trailer and then I'll go more into that. So you see the transform here. You see down smash. So down smash looks not great. Honestly, it looks super laggy and it's only one hit, as opposed to a lot of other down smashes that are multiple hits, like a similar move to this is Shulk's down smash and his hits 3 times, which makes it a lot easier to shield poke with. So I think this move is not going to be great and just looks really laggy. It could be really strong. It did seem like it sent him pretty far, but and especially if my theory about the forward smash is correct, where Pyrus scales more than other characters based on how long you charge the smash attack, it could be really strong. But I think in general, you're not really going to be using this. So it does cover both sides of you, which is always good though. So she transforms, and we see that she can just do that. That's forward air again. It seems like it sends them pretty high into the right again, so that might not be that good of an edge guarding tool either, like back air, so you might have to get creative with it. Maybe Sour Spot down air will be good for edge guarding, I'm not really sure. We'll have to wait and see. So he uses, Pyro and Mithra use the transformation to invincibility frames to get past the link dash attack. And we'll have to see how fast the transformation actually is to see how viable this is. I know Pokemon trainers do that quite a bit, so if the transformation is as fast as Pokemon Trainer, then you'll definitely be able to do this kind of thing. We have to see how fast the invincibility frames come out and how many invincibility frames there are to see if this is like realistically something you can do to combo break or dodge moves without air dodging instead. Generally, I'm not really sure how good this will be though, because even if like it's as good as Pokemon Trainer, I feel like you wouldn't want to suddenly switch to like Pyra or Mithra like really quickly like that just to dodge a move. I feel like people are going to switch when they want to switch for a specific reason, not to just dodge something. So I feel like people are probably just going to do normal dodges and then just switch whenever they want to switch between speed and power. I can't really see somebody being like, oh, I'm just going to switch to power because I want to dodge this thing. I feel like that's not really a reason most people are going to use this. I could see this being annoying online though, because there's so much lag, so people can see a move coming from a mile away and then just use the transformation to power through it. So we'll see how that goes. She definitely punishes his Link, but remember, Link dash attack is super laggy. It's like a smash attack basically, so obviously she's gonna be able to punish with down tilt as you see. It's really fast. So this down tilt looks crazy. This reminds me a lot of something like a Corrin down tilt, like down tilt where like they sort of swing the sword down at their feet and then it sweeps the opponent so they fly upwards, and that's so good. It's so good, especially with their move set. They have the up tilt that like kind of goes in an arc like this, and then they have like the up air as you're gonna see next, where it arcs above their head, and those are all going to be such good juggling tools. If you landed down tilt, you can do down tilt into up air with Mithra. I'm sure that'll be a combo at a low percent. So this character will be pretty good for juggling. I love juggling, so I'm very pleased with that. Juggling's super good in Ultimate, especially because air dodges are so laggy and so punishable. It's really a toss up to try to air dodge out of a juggle string. So yeah, this just puts you in a really good spot, honestly, as these characters if you land this down tilt. And it looks really fast for Mithra especially too. So she combos it into an up air. It doesn't seem like he goes very far. Also, nice camera angle. Well, not camera angle, pose again, but yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. So he goes not. It doesn't seem like he goes that high because Mithra's supposed to be weaker. I feel like Mithra's gonna have like no kill power, honestly. And it's gonna be similar to like a uh Pichu's up airs and stuff where you kind of like just strings them together and they like barely go anywhere. That's kind of what I'm expecting, and then it's just when you want to kill, you just switch to Pyro, you get the kill, and then you go back to Mithra. So, um, he lands, they show off this victory screen, show off the stage. We get to see her up air again, and again, same move. It'll be slower. It does send him a little higher, I think, but we couldn't really see with Mithra because he got like cut off on screen. This actually looks like at low percent you might be able to follow up off this, but I definitely think Pyra's up air is going to be pretty laggy. It looks like she's pretty laggy here, so even though like Joker didn't get sent up that high, she still might not be able to string this reliably. But then again, air dodging here would put you in a really bad spot. So maybe if you force an air dodge, you can fast fall and then try to catch him with a grab or a neutral or something. So there's definitely some like potential with stuff you can do with this. So yeah, that's that. They use the invincibility frames from the transformation again to tank the dash attack, and then she uses a forward smash. It doesn't send them that far, so again, her kill power is probably going to be really lame. And then she uses the final smash. It's Sacred Arrow and Burning Sword. We're not really that concerned with final smash, and then they show off this cool cutscene that I love so much. And that's pretty much it. So I want to go over sort of what I think, or again an ad. All right, so I want to go over what I think about like the balancing between Pyra and Mithra. So what I'm concerned about, I'm gonna get on like a screen that's really good here. It's this one. There we go. All right, I'm gonna leave off on the screen. So what I think is going to be a big problem is that, like I said, I think people are going to use Mithra a lot more than Pyra. So there's a few ways they could fix this problem. The first one is that you give Pyra only the ability to spike, like I mentioned before, like only her down air spikes and her up B spikes, and Mithra's down air does not spike. That would give her at least some offstage utility to where she could spike people at early percent, get some early kills. That would actually make Pyra useful at early percent if you get someone off stage. So I think that would be a really good idea. Another good idea is weight. So even though they're supposed to be like kind of the same person, sort of same body, and like technically they should be the same way, for balancing purposes, I think it would be smart for them to make Pyra heavier because slower, stronger characters in Smash Bros tend to be heavier, so they can live longer. And that will give Pyra some utility not only when your opponent is at high percent to get kills, but also when you're at high percent because it'll allow you to live longer. A lot of people switch to Charizard when they're at high percent, even if the enemy's at low percent, just so they can live longer. I'm hoping they'll kind of do the same thing for Pyra here. That's definitely something I think they should do because if they were to go off canon, then Mithra would be stronger and faster than Pyra. She would just be like better Pyra, but obviously they can't do that for balancing reasons. So for weight, they can do the same thing. Balancing reasons, you change it. Uh, and those are really the two main things. The other thing really is just have Pyra deal like stupid damage and knockback compared to Mithra, which would at least if you want to do sort of like a heavy type of play style where you get like 3 or 4 hits and you get a 0 to death off it, Pyra would be able to do that. I think they really have to make Pyra's moves super strong for to justify people using Pyra at low percent and like mid percent instead of Mithra. So those are pretty much my thoughts on balancing it. Also, Pyra not having to commit to the second part of up beam, so she doesn't have to spike down, would also help out recovery, which would make her not as bad as Mithra either. So I definitely think that would help out. Though her recovery will definitely still be worse because the up will come out slower due to frame data and she'll have less airspeed. So Mithra's always going to be better at recovery no matter what. That's just a given. And so yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on the character. I think the character actually could be solo viable. I don't think the character will necessarily be top tier, just because I think there's going to be quite a few options that the character can't cover, and they seem like they have a lot of moves that don't seem that good. Like Mithra's neutral B seems kind of useless. Pyra's neutral B seems better, but still kind of committal, even if it could combo break. Mithra's side B very committal. We have to see how their up Bs work to see how good their recovery is and stuff. And then down air spiking, whether or not it does, that'll definitely make a difference. So there's quite a few things we don't know, but I think they're definitely going to have quite a few issues. Just being a sword character in general gives you a lot of advantages and disadvantages. And really, the only sword characters that are top tier are like Lucina, who just is super fast and kills super early. and is super strong, so she pretty much has like no weaknesses as a sword character, and then Shulk, who just has Monado arts that are just insane. So I don't think they're going to be like that, but I think their matchup chart's going to be really good, because you can switch from being fast or being strong, and that's really good for matchup charts like Pokemon Trainer because you can switch from Squirtle, Ivysaur, Charizard, all different weights, all different strengths, all different speeds. That makes his matchup charts extremely good, and that's what makes him top tier. I don't think this character will be top tier, like I said, and two because a lot of their moves are like the same, even if it's different frame data. Unlike Pokemon Trainer, where it's three characters that are all completely different movesets, so that's even more versatility. They're not going to be as versatile as that, so I think this character will be high tier. I think the character could be solo viable because you're getting that mix of fast and strong that gives you good matchup charts. So I think you could definitely win a major with this character and just only play this character and you'll be fine even if the character isn't top tier. I think it'll be somewhere in high tier, kind of fitting in with like Sephiroth and Steve. I think they're both probably high tier characters right now. Something in that range, probably Min Min too. That's kind of what I'm expecting from the character, but definitely we'll have to see how the character's balanced. We'll have to see the Sakurai presentation where he goes over the move set and the gimmicks and stuff like that. We'll have to see if the comment Rex makes about Pyro's Flames actually means something or if it's just for the trailer. There's a lot of things we don't know. I could be completely wrong on Foresight 2 only being rules and taking no damage. That entire spiel I went on, that could just be completely wrong. That's just my theory of how it's going to work. So there's just a lot of things we don't know, and we just got to find out. So for now, I'm thinking Mythra will overall be the most used, and the character will probably be around high tier and most likely solo viable. So that's my thoughts on the moveset. Let me know in the comments if you have any agreements, disagreements. Let me know if you like the face cam and the commentary style videos. I think about doing some commentary with Bold and some of the other guys from TDFO or just other friends. So if you want to see more commentary videos from me, definitely give me that like, give me that feedback. Would love to see it. And yeah, that's it for me. See you guys.